Hi gorgeous people, how are you? Today I'm talking about the storm through which we are passing at the moment, and also I want to talk about protesting. Is it right? Should we do it? I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So man, are we going through it at the moment? I mean, how crazy is everything at the moment? It is. I can't keep up with it. Can you keep up with it? Because I can't. I have no friggin' idea what's going on anymore. I don't know. I'm just watching everything turn to shit. Or apparently so. Apparently so. The emissaries were saying, because I was asking them, what on earth's going on? What the dickens? And they said, we are going through a storm, like a maelstrom. And what they said is that there's so much happening that it's difficult to know where the truth lies. And let's be honest, let's just give up on knowing where the truth lies. We haven't got a clue. There's nowhere to know. There's nowhere to know. But what they said, and I'm going to talk about this in another video, people are starting to get very angry. Okay? Now I'm going to talk about why going forward. But one of the main reasons, when we find out that the establishment doesn't have our best interests at heart, when we find out that we've been treated like a bit of a twat, we feel like a bit of a twat, okay? This is why people are getting angry. It's like, hey, everything we've been supporting for so long and believing and trusting, and it's a pack of lies. And this feeling of, hey, you were treating me like a twat, creates an egoic knee-jerk reaction, and that's what we're seeing. However, the reason that we're getting this reaction at the moment is that, as the emissary said, we are moving into, and I'll talk about this in more depth, we're moving into a timeline that is very strong, okay? Very strong. And what I mean by strong is it's giving people strength. I'm seeing people with a lot more strength. I'm seeing people, and it's like an inner strength of, hey, this isn't right. This has to stop. Right? And for, you know, I mean, we all know what's happening. There's so much going on, but this is kind of where people are. Enough of this. And so there's a lot of anger going around. But the emissary said this. For us, and you know when I say us, right? And I don't want to be culty or anything like that. We're not in a cult. Yes, we are. We're not in a cult, a formal one at least. But we are further down the line. If we look at the Great Awakening or Awakening Up, it's like this, right? Beginners, novices, experts. I'm not saying we're at the expert level, but we've come quite a way down the journey. If everyone who's been following this channel, we've come a long way down the journey. And so getting angry is not where we ought to be. We should be past that. We should be through that. And so the emissaries were saying, do not get involved in the anger. Observe it, be aware of it. Actually, we should be celebrating it, okay? Because there was a time when we were there, and we know what that's about. And again, I'll talk about that in another video, but we mustn't go there ourselves. And I'll give you an example of how addictive the anger is. It's very addictive. So I post videos on Twitter, X, and I post them, okay? And when I post them, I will skim down and just educate myself on things. I don't know whether I would call that education. More like bringing yourself up to speed with what people are talking about. But I don't know what's gone on. And it's because we're moving into a period of anger. And so the videos that are coming up on X are of all this violence, like people just beating the shit out of one another, and loads of videos. And what I'm aware of is this, and there's some of them that because they come up, like as you scroll, you start seeing it. And now quite often you know, and you think, hey, I don't want to look at that, but often it's too late, okay? And so sometimes I'm seeing these videos of people beating the shit out of one another for whatever reason, for good and for bad, you know, like vengeance and putting things right socially. But I'm very aware of what it does to my body, what it does to my physical body. And it's like when I see something like that, I get this rush and it must be adrenaline or one of those ones, rush from almost from a root chakra all the way up, whoom. And there's a part of me that's sort of saying, yes, especially when somebody bad is getting the comeuppance. I don't want to have that feeling. That's not a good place for me to be in. I don't want to be joyous over somebody getting the shit beaten out of them. So that's not where we need to be, and that's what the emissaries are saying. Keep away from that. So then I came on to, so what about the protests that are going on now? They're everywhere. I've got lots of different opinions about the protests. One is they've been organised, and my question is, who is organising them? Well, the feeling that I get is that the same people who are organising them, and I'm not saying that everybody, the people who are involved in these are beautiful people who just want to put things right. But the people who are organising them also seem to be organising that little malevolent group, that we've seen how many times, that wear masks and smash stuff up and start turning cars over. They're all there. They're always there. They come in and they start doing horrible stuff. And so I have a feeling that behind the organisation of this are people who want this kind of chaos and disorder. But I said to the emissaries, should we protest? Should protests happen? Are they worthwhile? Lots of people say, they don't do anything. Wrong. They do something, but it's not what we think. So the emissary said, absolutely. The people that feel the need to go out and protest should do it. Absolutely, they should. And they said, however, that group of people who are going out to protest are what we would call the newbies, right? But they said, for people who are your part of the process and our part of the process, which is we've come through that, no. They said, absolutely not. You should avoid them because A, the energy's not the right energy for you. Not only that, you would be bringing the wrong energy to that. The wrong energy. That's not your energy. We're heading toward being the Buddha, and we don't want to be bringing that energy to the protests. So they said, no, definitely keep out of it. But the people who go to the protest should. And they give me the reason why. What they said is, those are the newbies. They're the people who absolutely are angry. And we've all been there. The angry and the furious and the disappointed and the fearful. And so they have that energy and they will go. And they said what they will discover when they go there is that they're going to be corralled by the police. They're going to be called far right. I mean, they were interviewing these people, like 60-year-old women, all gentlemen, young people, and they were being called far right. And these people were like horrified that they were being called far right. And they're saying, we just want to have our voice heard. So what the emissary said is the process that's occurring with those people is that they're being corralled by the police, they're being called far right, they are being hurt, and they're seeing what's almost a cliche now of what they're calling two-tier policing. They're seeing this. They're seeing that the establishment that they have supported all of these years turns against them. And that they have no voice. They're seeing that democracy, so-called democracy, and everything they thought that was, doesn't exist. Freedom of speech doesn't exist. The freedom to actually say what's on your mind is not allowed. And so what the emissary said is they are having a very rude awakening. And that awakening is going to catapult them forward. It's going to take them forward in this process. Remember, and I'm going to come to the stats. The emissaries give me the stats of the Great Awakening, which is always good fun. I'll tell you all about that later on. But they're going to be catapulted forward. That is great. That's a good thing, as Bill Gates would often say before he hasn't died yet. I was just being wishful. So I don't know whether I should leave that in. Should I leave that in or should I bleep it? I'll bleep it. okay? Just in case, because I think there's something strange about that sentence. Maybe it'll be picked up by the bots. So they're going to be catapulted forward. We need it. We need those people. So let them do the thing. Don't criticise the protests. Don't criticise them for protesting. We've all done it. I've done my bit. You know, I've been out there in the streets with a megaphone and I've been very angry, very disappointed and very fearful. But that's not where I am now. And therefore I wouldn't go to a protest because that's not my job. That's how I see it. It's the job of many others, and it is their job. And they're going to do a good job of it. And I wouldn't do a good job of it. You know, I'd be there trying to talk, you know, spiritual. And people don't want to hear spiritual when they're angry, fearful and pissed off. So there you are. The protests, whether you think they're going to achieve anything, the purpose of the protest doesn't matter. They are waking people up. People are waking up hand over fist. It's never been so rapid. And I'll tell you about that when I talk about the stats. Yeah, it's never been as quick as it is now. And don't think that people who are awake have to be the same as you. That's not what the awakening process is. It's massive, the awakening process, and it all starts at the beginning, exactly where those people are now. And the awakening starts like this. Something is deeply fucking wrong with this society, country, government, fill in the blank. That's it. That's the awakening. That's how it starts. And that's where they are. Okay, I love you all and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.